Welcome everyone. We're live on YouTube. Welcome to another one of our free workshops here at Learn to Draw Manga. It's Candice. I'm here, back hosting another live stream for you guys. It's nice seeing everyone again this morning, noon, evening, wherever it is for you guys. Let me know in chat. Let's sound off in chat. Where you guys watching the stream from? Where you guys tuning in from? And what time is it there? We'd love to know. It's always nice getting to take the time at the beginning of these sessions just to get to know people and see how everyone is faring. Um, but hello everyone. Okay, hello Ariel. Hello Num Num. Hello Altry. Hi everyone.
Hello?
Carla Simon, Marina Sheikh, I'm Leah.
Hello, you guys. Hello. How are you guys doing? You can just send in your replies in chat for this portion. It's fine. So let me know you guys. How are you guys doing? It's 1 a.m. for Yoan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Yoan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's 1 a.m. and you have school tomorrow. What are you doing? What are you doing? You should be in bed. If you have school tomorrow, hopefully um hopefully you're prepared for the consequences of sleeping late if you have school tomorrow. But I appreciate it all the same, yo, and thank you so much for joining us. But I do recommend, I mean, go if you want to leave early because you have to go to bed, then that's fine. All right. Violet from America, and it's 8 in the evening, 8 in the morning. Let me know. Baby SpongeBob, it's 8 in the East Coast. Hi, baby SpongeBob. Turkey, it's 3 a.m. My goodness, thank you so much for joining, Tamgaka from Turkey. Even though it's so late, really appreciate it. Who else? Um, oh, right, sorry, it's a Sunday tomorrow for some of you. Sorry. But why did you, like, it's a Sunday tomorrow, but you have school? Really? Who else? Who else? Rachel from England. It's 1 a.m. Hi, Rachel. Zuma from Cyprus. It's 3 a.m. Oh my goodness. Again, thank you so much, you guys, for joining so late. All right. All right.
So,
Hello,
Kenneth,
everyone.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little problem. I'm having a little problem with my chat right now. So I can't message in the chat.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Thank you for letting
But
us know.
it's currently 8:06. It's currently 8:06 where I live.
8:06 in the east.
Bahamas.
Oh, okay, from the Bahamas. Hi, Del. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. So, without further ado, you guys, welcome to today's workshop. I think you guys pretty much know what we're going to be doing for today's workshop. We're going to be making yonkomas, okay? And if you haven't already been seeing our content, if you haven't already been like watching our videos or attended a previous workshop of ours, then I am going to be breaking it down, what we're going to be going through today. And please, you guys, feel for this session, you guys don't need to mute. Okay, so let me just turn off that option for you guys there. And once the drawing session is over and once we get into critique, that's when you guys can unmute. All right. So, yeah, that said, for today's session, we're going to be making yonkomas, and I'm going to take you guys through it after this. So, yeah, I really appreciate that you guys took the time out of your weekend to come to today's session. I really appreciate the turnout for today's session. It's always nice seeing people come together to make manga, even on a weekend. So, yeah, consider this a big win. The fact that you guys are here taking the time out of your weekend to join this workshop and learn with fellow aspiring mangakas means that you're either ready to take the first step to becoming a mangaka, or you're just here to have a good time. Whatever it is, it's a big win, and thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, please drop some clapping emojis in chat to pat yourselves on the back, you guys. Congratulations! Thanks so much for being here. Let's just celebrate you guys being here. And yeah, I want to start that on a really positive note. All right, so now I have a question for you guys. Please raise your hand if you've been trying to make your own manga for years, but you don't have anything to show, or you've spent months, maybe years or decades even, trying to write your story, develop your characters, and perfect your storytelling, and yet you still don't have a single chapter finished. Or raise your hand if you've been trying to figure this out all by yourself and you don't know if what you're doing is even right. All right. Show of hands. Is any of this familiar to any of you? Let us know. Okay, Amarachi's raising her hand. Dell, Num Num, Goku. All right, we have a couple of hands. Who else? Who else? Don't be shy. This is a judgment-free zone. I mean, if you've struggled with these same things or something similar to it, then it's fine. This is a safe space. We're not here to judge. We've all gone through it. So, yeah, the grind continues, as Coach Nico says. All right. So, I think, yeah, we have a couple of hands in chat. All right. How about on YouTube? Does any of this ring true for anyone on YouTube? Oh, okay, we have a lot on YouTube. Okay. Everybody is struggling. Everybody is struggling on YouTube, which is not a bad thing, you guys. I mean, a lot of our viewers on YouTube are self-taught for the most part. I think most of you guys are actually self-taught artists, which is honestly awesome. It's always nice seeing um everyone's progress. Always nice seeing people like share their work with us through these workshops. I mean, it's also nice to see just what our subscribers are capable of, just art-wise, you know. So yeah, if you've been struggling with any of this, it's totally normal, it's totally natural, and as you can see from the other people who've been raising their hands, you're not alone, okay? And even if you've been struggling with any of this, we have good news for you, right? This is the right workshop for you because today we're gonna be making manga together. All right, so are you guys excited? Just type I am excited in chat. Are you excited to be making manga with us today? Let me know. All right, Jakey, yeah, Violet, excited. All right. Soul Slayer is excited. Great to hear, Soul Slayer. Excellent is also pretty excited. How about the Zoom people? How about the people in Zoom? Are you guys excited? It's pretty quiet. This group is pretty quiet compared to our other workshop groups. But I'd love to know. Don't be shy to sound off in chat, you guys, just so I know how you guys are doing, and if you guys are still following me, and if you're still with me, let me know. Just type I'm excited in chat. All right. Oh, chat is disabled. Oh, right. Sorry. There, you guys. I didn't realize that I disabled chat. Oh my goodness, so sorry about that. Okay, hey, I can see chat now. All right. Hi everyone. So sorry about that. I think yeah, I didn't notice that I actually turned off chat. Sorry about that. But hey, oh my gosh. Okay, now there's an influx of people in the Zoom chat. Okay, yay. Okay, got it. I was concerned for a moment there where oh my gosh, is everyone okay? Are people following me? I was a bit concerned there. But okay, it was just I disabled chat. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Everyone's excited. Alright, everyone's excited. Okay, Del, yes, you please save questions for the Q&A session or when we start the drawing session later. That's when we'll be entertaining questions. But yeah, stay tuned. Just stay tuned and sit tight. All right. Excited, Jennifer from the USA. Hello again, Jennifer. Jennifer is a repeat participant in our live streams. It's always nice seeing Jennifer around in chat. Hello, Jennifer. Who else? Shabrea is excited. All right, everyone is excited. Okay, everyone is excited in Zoom, in YouTube. All right. Thank you guys so much for expressing such enthusiasm about today's workshop, right? And just a couple of reminders, you guys. This is a hands-on workshop, so please prepare your pen, paper, drawing tablet, and drawing software. And please make sure you have your Yonkoma manga drawing template ready. We sent this template with the confirmation email you guys received. So please make sure to bring that out. If you don't see it, then we are gonna send it in chat in a bit. So look out for that. Coach Nico's gonna send a template for it in chat in a bit. But yeah, we'll send the link in chat. And is a notebook fine? Yes, a notebook is fine. If you're drawing traditionally or digitally, it's fine. So once it's time for you guys to submit your work in chat, you can just take a picture of your work and then send it through chat if you're drawing traditionally. All right, hopefully that's understood. So, yes, you guys, for today's workshop, you're in for something very special because the manga techniques we're about to teach you are the same techniques used by pro mangakas and by our mentors. So, we've worked with pro Japanese mangakas Naoyazawa and Renesaya. Naoyazawa sensei is the creator of Wedding Peach. It was serialized back in the 90s. It's a magical girl manga, and it even got turned into an anime. So, yes, Yizawa Sensei is quite the legend in our program. She's also worked on multiple how to draw manga books and is currently teaching at a manga school in Tokyo. And we also have our mentor, Rena Sensei, who has also worked with big publishers in Japan. She's gotten published. She's a freelance manga artist, and she also teaches at a manga school in Tokyo. So combined, they've both won contests, gotten published, and taught beginner students in Japan and abroad. And they know what they're doing, you guys. They have a combined experience of over 50 years in the industry. So yeah, these are our Japanese mentors. We also have our other mentors, pro webtoon artist Steph Pastrano. He started out on social media as a fan artist of popular shonen titles, and he's now a lead artist for an ongoing webtoon and is currently working on his own doujinshi. And we also have our newest mentor, Vivi, who is a pro manga editor. She's worked for companies like Koamix and Kadokawa, both Japanese publishers, manga publishers to be specific. And Vivi has also worked alongside the editorial teams behind titles like Record of Ragnarok and Unsung Cinderella. And she's also helped in editing international artists and helping them get their one shots published in Japan. All right, and in the last 3 years, we've worked with over 400 beginner anime and manga artists, students like our student Steven, who has been creating so much manga with us after years of self doubt and hesitation, and he finally joined us this year. And since joining us, he's done so much. He's even entered a manga contest. And as you can see on screen, in just 2 months with us, he's already leveled up his skills. And just look at that difference from his earlier manga on the right to one of his more recent mangas here on the left. And again, that's just a 2 month difference, you guys. And since then, he's been working on even bigger projects. He's currently working on his 20 to 30 page one shot, all while balancing his career in aviation. So, yes, you guys, he knows how to fly a plane and he's learning how to draw manga on the side, which is awesome, honestly. And we also have another awesome student, Jamie, who joined us earlier this year. He already loved storytelling and drawing, but he was just self-taught and wanted a structured way to learn manga. So while Jamie is in the middle of Jamie's actually in the middle of his PhD in, I believe it was astrophysics. Yes, so Jamie is currently taking his PhD. Really intense stuff. Like he's so busy, but he's also doing this program on the side on top of his PhD, and this is his progress in just 4 months while being busy with his education as well, you know? So Jamie is really inspiring, one of our really dedicated students in the program. And if you want to learn more about Jamie's journey, like how he juggles like learning how to make manga on top of like his PhD, then you can check out our interview with him on our Learn to Draw Manga channel. I can link that later once we get into it. But yeah, we have previous live interviews with students on the channel, which you guys can check out. So yeah, Jamie is really cool. So now we're here to take you to the next level and help you create a manga that you guys can feel proud of. So make sure to stay until the end for the live critique and Q&A, you guys. So let me know, are you guys ready to start before I bring in our coach for today? Are you guys ready to start? Just type I'm ready in chat so that we can begin, and then I can bring in our coach. But yeah, in the meantime, I see that a lot of people are pretty are pretty interested in learning more about Jamie. So I'm gonna send that in chat real quick just so you guys please, you can check it out after the live stream. But yeah, that's our interview with our student Jamie. All right. Okay. Is everyone ready? Has everyone said that they're ready in chat? Let me double check. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. How about our YouTube chat? Is everyone ready on YouTube? I only see a couple of people saying they're ready. How about everyone else? I know there are quite a few of you um in YouTube right now. All right, everyone's ready. All right, everyone is ready. All right, so Coach Nico. Hello, Coach Nico. Could you please introduce yourself to our students for today?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for that, Candice. Hello, everyone. Minasan, hello. I am Coach Nico. I will be your coach for today, and I am your local coffee enjoyer for an artist. So yeah, it's great to see everyone here. The way I see it, everyone is very excited to make a yonkoma. So whether it's your first time or perhaps your third time around making one, it's great to have you here. So without any further ado, let's begin the session, shall we? Oh, let me just, yeah. So if I may share my screen this time around, just a second. Okay. And there we go. Let me know if it's visible in chat, guys. But yeah, hopefully it is. And yeah, let's begin. So, what is a yonkoma, right? I'm sure a bunch of you already know, as you have been on your own learning journey within the manga scene. But yeah, basically a yonkoma or a four-panel manga is a strip that always has four panels of equal sizes. It's a very, very common or very known format, not just in the Japanese scene. Well, definitely it isn't very well known in the Japanese scene, but all over the world, most people know about this. Some of your favorite titles that's gotten an anime adaptation like Azumanga Daioh, Lucky Star, Blend S, Hitoribochi, all those titles came from a Yonkoma manga. So that is really cool, right? But yeah, if you've also seen Look Back, the famous manga and one shot anime by Tatsuki Fujimoto, you've definitely seen the Yonkomas in the first few pages or at the start of the anime movie. But yeah, basically the four panel manga format is a very, very versatile format that allows us to learn so much more about the story structure of the Kisho Tenketsu, which we will learn about later on. So yeah, basically what is the Kisho Tenketsu, right? So Akisho Tenketsu is basically this story structure we use for manga oftentimes. But yeah, it has the first part being the key, which introduces the entirety of the manga, if you will, your characters, the setup, your settings, and it it leads on to the show, which is the development phase where we get to know more about our characters. We get to know more about their them as a character, as a person, and the situation they are currently in. And then once you get around to the overall, getting to know these characters, the story as a whole kind of thing, we move on to like the most interesting part of the manga, which is always the 10 or the twist, which shows a bunch of unexpected scenes or scenarios within the manga that really gets you going throughout the entire story. And then lastly, of course, it has to end, the last part being the ketsu, which concludes and wraps up the story with either a very conclusive ending that gives us a lesson and whatnot. So yeah, there we go, guys. Hopefully, being able to understand the Kishot and Ketsu helps you a lot with creating your manga. So as you can see here, this is the very well-known Azumanga Daioh, one of my personal favorite. And yeah, here being another one, Tsurezure Children. We all know this from like very, very well-known clips back in like 2018. So yeah, in Japan, a typical manga page features two Yonkoma strips. But yeah, this time around, we're only making one. We often use a B4 size, but it can change depending on the publisher's requirement and the format you're in, the media you're in. So it varies if you draw for like newspapers or you do them for like web pages and so on and so forth. So yeah, these are works, Yonkoma works from one of our students. His name is Yuwon. He's also a personal friend of mine. But yeah, he has improved a lot since then. Every now and then he'll still push out a bunch of these. But yeah, it's a very, very good experience and a very good training routine, if you will. So yeah. Now, this time around, I'm sure most of you are excited, and I hope you guys are. And this is the time where we get to make our own Yonkoma. So hopefully everyone's excited. And yeah, let me know in chat if you guys are looking forward to this. So basically, what we will be doing is for the Yonkoma challenge, you guys will making a Yonkoma of your own. It can be of any genre, but it has to be based on a prompt. So yeah, you have 40 minutes to make this, and just make sure that you get to follow the Kisho Tenketsu story structure for this one. So avoid oblique panels, follow the Kisho Tenketsu, make sure that it is readable from right to left. The sequencing of your scenes and your speech bubbles, make sure that we are reading them from right to left as per the manga structure. And yeah, inking is optional, effects are optional, but if you do have the time to do them, please do so. Okay, for the prompt of our manga or our Yonkoma here, it will be your OC in a job interview. So whether this is something that you guys have already experienced doing or not, or you've seen a bunch of like stories online about being in an interview, please make what you will of that and make your Yonkoma revolving this prompt. So you guys have 40 minutes for this. As a matter of fact, I should set the time up now. And let's put your timer of 40 minutes here. And yeah, thank you to Candice for sending in the 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 template for this one. But yeah, please use it to your ability. It is super helpful. And yeah, let me begin the timer now in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, time is running, everyone. Hopefully um you guys have all prepared your pen, your paper, your drawing tablet, your stylus, and yeah, start conceptualizing your story. Sharad says they are nervous. There is no need to be nervous, everyone. It is a learning process after all, and mistakes are inevitable and necessary for our growth. Not good at storyboarding. Well, it's this time around. I feel like this is a good practice though, considering it is a fairly short story and a very simple structure. So yeah, This is a very good practice. A bit bloody one, yes, it can be just that num num. That is fine, but don't go too grotesque, if you will. So yeah, take your time, guys. You have the 40 minutes.
All right. So, Coach Nico, like for people who are struggling with coming up with an idea, because I know most beginners, especially for first timers to our sessions, right? Most of them, some have like so many ideas and they
Mhm.
struggle with selling on one, whereas some have trouble just coming up with like a single idea. So, what would be your advice for someone who has so many ideas but can't settle on one? And then
Mhm.
what would also be your advice for someone who's struggling with coming up with like a single idea?
So for the person who is struggling to come up with an idea, my personal advice would be to always go into that like inner library within ourselves of, basically just basing a story off of our own personal experience, like a highlight or something funny that, came around recently or even in the past, that it's that sense of relatability or that sense of realism and from the story that really makes us story or our manga interesting and relatable to other people. And yeah, as for the person who has a lot of ideas in mind, um, it's personally the way I see things or the way I deal with that kind of situation is I try to list them down, like as much as possible, brainstorming, if you will, just listing them down and then trying to narrow things down further into like an elimination kind of deal where you go from 10 ideas and then you pick off the ones that you like the most or that's based off the prompt or the theme or genre you're going for and then eventually make it from three to one or five to three and then eventually to the one that you like the most. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of just decision making, if you will, and following which one interests you the most.
And also, you could argue that you don't have to overthink it.
Of
Like,
course, of
if you're
course.
struggling with actually choosing the one that you like the most, might maybe just randomize it and then
Definitely.
give yourself a challenge. Oh, okay. Um, just choose this. Don't overthink it and see what you can do with it.
Mhm.
I think for this session, the reason why we hold these types of sessions, right, is to give you guys a space to actually create alongside other artists and be able to like share and learn from each other and also learn from our coaches. So given that there's a time limit of like just 40 minutes for our Yonkoma workshops, like this is the time for you guys to don't overthink it, just draw and follow your gut, right?
Definitely, something a lot of beginners and even like be even like very adept artists forget or often overlook is yeah, overthinking is like what leads to decision paralysis. So
Yeah.
yeah, whether it's through ideating a story or drawing a scene, should you overthink things, that's where you stop making progress all throughout. So it's best to avoid those situations.
Yeah, exactly. So coach, how long, I mean, never mind. I don't wanna pigeonhole them into like
Uh-huh.
a certain time, how long they should take for like certain steps. But when you're making a yonkoma, like this is
Mhm,
typically what I see a lot of beginners like struggle with. I've seen yonkomas where it's just like too many characters. It's
mhm,
too much going on, or it's set in a world with too much context that's not being said, so I don't totally get what's happening right away. So, what are like the things that beginners should avoid, like common mistakes that you've
mhm,
also observed that beginners should avoid? Those are the things that I've observed off the top of my head. Like,
mhm,
don't make a yonkoma and set in a world that has a lot of lore and that not everyone can totally understand right away, because I've seen people make yonkomas of like ongoing mangas they have going on, or other like works, like offshoots of other works that they've made, and basically of their characters doing some, I don't know, something that's related to like a big piece of lore from like a prior work,
mhm,
so like there's a lot of unsaid context, not unsaid context. That's one.
mhm.
And also just having too many characters in a yonkoma. I've seen someone like have like four characters in a yonkoma, and it was just too much, and it's just the
Yeah.
panels were just too small to
Mhm.
contain like four people simultaneously. And yeah, I think those are the two common mistakes I've observed. How about you, Coach Nico? What other mistakes do you think beginners typically make when they're making a yonkoma?
Yeah, basically, oftentimes beginners have a lot of really, really extravagant ideas, big story concepts, if you will. And that is completely fine. But, having those kinds of ideas is not necessarily befitting of a young Koma. So there is no reason for you to squeeze that in or, you know, deal with all the hassle or struggles of trying to fit all your stories into a simple yonkoma. So basically my most simple or my most straightforward advice would be kiss. Kiss meaning keep it simple, stupid. It's a very, very
Wait,
often
so
yeah,
you
it's a
mean
very
yeah,
often
no, no, keep it short and simple, not keep it
is
simple,
it
Stu. Wait,
yeah. Oh really? It has a
yeah,
different one?
no, yeah,
Okay.
it's keep it short and simple, Coach
Yeah.
Nico.
No, we actually honestly, that's like the abbreviation I've known it for the longest while. Believe it or not, it's actually an actual saying as well. So I didn't even
Oh,
know that
oh,
there was an
oh,
alternate
sorry,
one.
sorry.
Yeah.
There's like a comma between
Yeah.
simple and okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Even
thought you meant
Fernando
like
knows it as keep it simple stupid.
I thought you meant like keep it simple and stupid or
No,
something
no,
like
no.
that.
Dear
Okay.
God.
Okay, got it. Got it. All right. So
Yeah.
there's a different like version of that that
Yeah,
I know of.
it
Yeah.
has a lot of versions apparently. I didn't even know about. But yeah, truth be told, that's the entire advice, Keep it simple. The Yonkoma structure is so is versatile yet very like I said, simple. So it's very delicate. So don't overcomplicate things on that part. There is no need to put in too much characters. If you're like even able to just keep them to as low as one or two, that is already very, very effective in telling a story. Like I said, this is like a very good practice. So there is no need to think of a magnum opus for a young Kuma.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the best advice we can give.
Yeah, and we
Keep
also have a
it
couple of
short
questions.
and simple.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions from Zoom. Shabre asks, "So are we drawing a yonkoma about our character and how they behave in an interview, and how are they are feeling during it?" Yes. So any one of your OCs, it could be OCs is in original characters. Any one of your original characters, you can make a character on the spot, or you can like use any one of your existing characters that you've already planned out or have ready and just set them in the scene of being in a job interview. you know. So given that this is a prompt about your OC being in a job interview, that one or two characters is fine, like one being your OC and the other perhaps being like the job interviewer. Yeah. 825 asks, are Yonkoma easier or more difficult to classify in a shonen and shoujo, etc.? I'd like to know if there are magazines that publish Yonkoma or multiple demographics or genres, or if it's specific like other manga formats. I'm not sure if there are any manga magazines or manga publishers that specialize in Yonkoma exclusively. Yonkoma, the way Yonkoma is produced in Japan, they're typically like bonus content, or you could find Yonkomas in Japanese newspapers. There, I do not know of a Japanese magazine that specializes in publishing Yonkomas exclusively. Like all of their works are all Yonkomas. But I do know that there are manga titles that are exclusively in Yonkoma format. I believe Azumanga Daioh, right, Coach Nico? It's
Yes,
a series
definitely.
that's all Yonkoma. All of
That
each chapter? Like
yes, that is
okay.
correct.
Yeah, aside from Azumanga Daioh, I think Nichijou is
Mm.
as well. Yeah,
Yes, Nichijou is a very well-known one as well.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, the creator has another series. It's called City, and it's also a Yonkoma, and it has recently gotten an anime adaptation as well called City the Animation. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
very exciting.
yeah. So for titles like that, I'm not sure who the publishers are behind Azumanga Daioh and
Mhm.
Nichijou are, but the publishers behind them do not exclusively publish just Yonkoma format manga. So if you're planning on like creating a manga that's exclusively in that format, you can give it a go. But I think it's not that common. It's not as common as just like traditional manga, I believe.
But it definitely does exist, you know.
Yeah, it
Um,
does exist. Yeah. Yes, you guys, you can save your questions for the Q&A session at the end. We will be entertaining questions from you guys during the Q&A and during the critiquing session. So, once the timer is up and once we start reviewing and choosing submissions to review, you guys can send in your questions then as well. Okay, Yowen says, I never drew or wrote anything about a job interview. This is hard. Right, because you're in school. Oh my gosh, we didn't think about that,
yeah.
Coach Nico. What about
Mm.
our students who are still in school? They've never experienced a job interview before.
Yeah, honestly, take what you will of that prompt. Yeah, it can be like an interview within your school, if you're being lectured by the principal, or perhaps, your teacher is telling you, okay, stop goofing off. It's time for you to think about the future, stuff like that, be creative out of it. And it's a very fun take to do something that you're not entirely experienced with. I'm sure you can come up with something very creative. So yeah.
Yeah, so don't sweat it. If you it doesn't have to be strictly like in the context of a job interview. Like
Yeah.
any interview would be fine.
Yeah. I feel like it's the word job that's throwing some of
Yeah.
them off.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I mean, if you haven't been for our older participants, I mean, the job, I think the job what do you call it? Like the job finding
Mhm,
process is constantly fluctuating.
mhm.
So, if you haven't been like job hunting recently, then this might stump you for a bit. But for the people who have like a lot of experience, like just job hunting and like having been in multiple job interviews prior, then this should be like easy.
Definitely.
All right. Janrod? Hopefully I'm saying that right. You still have plenty of time, Janrod. You have 24 minutes on the clock. That's still plenty of time. By the way, Coach Nico, with 24 minutes left, what do you think how far along should they be at this point?
For 24 minutes, I feel like having like a sketch down for all the four panels would be good. Or perhaps, having just a dialogue in mind is already like a good um checkpoint, if you will, for this time around. So yeah. Um yeah, don't sweat it, guys. I'm seeing a bunch of chat comments in chat that says they still haven't gotten an idea, but just think of a past experience that you can relate in a sense to an interview, and that is more than enough. Yeah, it's fine if you just come up with like the rough sketches in the end, Sam. After all, a storyboard is just what we're looking for. The details, your line art, your screen tones, those are just additional details you can add in, but it's not necessarily required.
We have a question from YouTube. I know it's a little late to ask, but was this supposed to be done digitally or on paper? Yeah, either way, you can do it on paper or you can do it digitally.
Yeah.
Either is fine. Reckless says, I made it about my OC thinking of looking for a job, not an interview. I mean, it's fine. Either way, we'll work with whatever you guys have. Honestly, you can still submit it through chat, whatever it is you guys have, even if it's a bit far off from the prompt. That's fine. All right. The point is, you guys finish it. At least try to finish it today. Does it have to be a full-fledged Yonkoma? It doesn't have to be. It can just be like a storyboard, which is fine. Again, it doesn't
Yep.
have to be fully rendered. That said, I am curious, you guys. Has anyone in chat, in YouTube and Zoom, like has anyone ever read a Yonkoma or been familiar with a Yonkoma before joining the session, or is this anyone's first time like learning about Yonkomas? Is this session like your first time like coming across Yonkomas? Let me know in chat. I am curious because I do know that plenty of people, even manga readers, aren't like 100% familiar with Yonkomas because it's not something that they come across like
Yeah,
all the time.
I agree.
Okay, we have a couple of people. This is their first times like learning about Yonkoma and making a Yonkoma. All right, that's cool. Alteri's known of it but never made one. Okay. Okay. Some people have heard of it before, right? Again, it's not a common thing you come across when you if you're like an avid manga reader. It's not a common thing you come across. But if for I do know a couple of series, they do have Yonkomas as sort of like bonus content, like I mentioned earlier. So
Mhm. But there are definitely, like I mentioned earlier, there are definitely a bunch of mangas that are strictly yonkomas. So
yeah.
take, what was that? Takazaki, Lady Boss Tazaki, or something. San is a strictly yonkoma manga. There's like, there's Azumanga Daioh. There's City. There's also Hitoribochi. So yeah, a bunch of existing ones actually. It's a very unique content if you think about it, but what's interesting is that because the story in itself are very relatable, you get a bunch of anime adaptations from them. So really, it goes a long way story wise.
Art Bob Monkey asks, "Is it like the Sunday Funnies in the U.S.? It sounds like a newspaper strip to me." Yes, it is
Exactly.
actually. It's actually inspired by
Yeah.
Western newspaper comic strips.
Yeah.
The I think the first mangas, like the earliest mangas, were actually yonkomas, like really
Yes.
short,
That
and also
is
like
correct.
released in newspapers. So
Mhm.
yonkomas were actually like the first mangas.
Mhm.
Osamu Tezuka was pretty known for the
Mhm.
format. He actually revolutionized the format with like by adapting like cinematic techniques. Using the yonkoma format and offshooting and
Mhm.
evolving beyond the Yonkoma format and using more stylistic paneling choices. So, but mangas started with the Yonkoma format actually. So,
Exactly. If
um,
uh, I'm
yeah,
not sure on this, but like even to this day, there are still a bunch of newspapers that have like these gag yonkomas every now and then.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's a very famous format, especially in newspaper media.
yeah,
Um, Yeah, like you mentioned, a very old one, for example, is Sazae-san. It
yeah,
it had like it originally started as a Yonkoma manga back in 1946, I think. And
yeah.
then it's gotten an adaptation in 1969. And then from since then, it's been ongoing to this day, believe it or not. So it's gotten like 2000 plus episodes this time around. So very interesting.
Wait, that's more than One Piece.
Yes,
I
they
have to
got
check
the
this
record.
out.
They got
Wow.
the Guinness Book record for that, I believe. But yeah, it's super
Oh
a lot
wow.
of episodes.
Oh right. Okay. I
Yeah.
see that. In here I thought One Piece was long.
Oh God, you should check out Conan, Detective Conan. I believe it's in
Oh
like
yeah.
2,800 episodes this time
Oh,
around.
okay, okay.
It's a bunch.
I mean, I think, granted, was is Conan has Conan been in serialization for longer? Did it start earlier than One Piece? Wait.
Honestly, that I'm not sure, but at this point, the guy has grown up so much. I don't know. I don't even know. I can't. I haven't followed it since. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it started earlier. It started in 1994, and like One Piece started in
Okay.
99, I
There we
believe.
go.
Yeah,
And
so
it's still ongoing.
it has like a 5-year head start, you guys. Oda can still catch up. All right. Okay, we have 15 minutes left on the clock. That's over how much, that's all the time you guys have left. We can still extend for a bit if you guys need it. But for now, you guys have 15 minutes. All right. Please extend. We'll see. We'll see. We won't extend for now just yet. We'll see.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Just make sure not to overthink things. I hope that's not the case this time around. Um, there's always a story out of nowhere. Perhaps think of your pets, if you guys have pets or yeah, pets, perhaps you can think of a story for them. Like, what would they do if they were ever in a job interview, right? So there's always creativity in the things we least expect.
Yeah, now that you mentioned like your pets and job interviews, I remember watching this short film about, I think it was animated. It was an animated short film about a
Mhm.
guy interviewing different kinds of cats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was real. I stumbled on it. The art was really cool. Interviewing different kinds of cats, and some of these cats were career cats. Some of these cats were literally like orange cats that just had dumb look on their face the entire interview. So
Wait,
it was fun. It was fun.
wait, I
I
have to
think
search this up. What's the
yeah.
title?
Wait, let me try and see if I can look it up. Give me a second.
Yeah, another one would probably be Chikawa, you know. It's like a short anime or like revolving around animals. So, if you guys have seen that, that's definitely an idea.
Okay, I shared it in chat, you guys. Like it's so unrelated to the session for today, but I just wanted to share it because I love cats and also it's a fun watch. So I've shared
Really.
it in chat if
Oh,
you guys want to
I
check
have to
that
check
out.
this out.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Okay. I have something to watch for later's lunchtime.
All right. With that said, you guys, like what are your Oh, sorry, Alvin. Are you You don't need to click the link, Alvin. I'm just sharing it.
Yeah.
It's fine. You don't have to click the link now. If Just focus on drawing, you guys. That's why I just shared it just so you guys can get get back to it later. All right. For a quick question for our audience, like, what are your guys' favorite mangas nowadays? Like, what are you guys reading? What are your favorite mangas that you've been reading recently? I'd love to know. I want to get a. I want. This is just me fishing for recommendations. You guys don't overthink it. I just want to get more recommendations. I already read One Piece. I follow it religiously at this point. So, um, Gachikuta. Yeah, I have heard of Gachikuta. It's the one that recently got, I think, an anime, right? Yeah,
Yes, that is correct.
yeah. Gachikuta has been so like it's been on my feed just constantly. Who else? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Gachikuta people. Gachiakuta Glazers. Is it that good? um no, serious question. Okay, I'm not making fun. Is it a serious question? Is it that good?
I just know of it, but I haven't watched it as well. But
Okay.
people say it's really good as well. But I guess one that I plan on reading um soon enough is Call of the Night. So it's a real romance night kind of deal manga. It's gotten an anime adaptation, but yeah, it's a very interesting
Mm.
concept. So I plan on reading that.
Okay, Gachiakuta got peak drip. Okay. So as far I so far what I know about Gachiakuta is that characters have peak drip. Okay. Good first impression. Any other recommendations, you guys? Um, ReZero. Okay, I'm getting a lot of ReZero. Wow. Demon Slayer. Yeah, I finished Demon Slayer a while ago now, Sam, but thanks for the recommendation. Um, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. Yeah, that's actually in Tsubasa Reservoir is actually in my reading list. I have to get to it. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, Sam, it seems like you're a fan of sports mangas. That's cool. We do have a couple of sports manga fans in chat. Blue Lock Glazers. Okay. not no, not to judge. I'm a fan of Blue Lock myself. I'm following it religiously as well. So I'm just saying.
I,
Um
I feel like you should help them out a bit for like, saying what kind of genre you're looking for.
no. I'm open to all kinds of genres,
Oh, okay,
honestly.
okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Kimono Jihen. Oh my god, that brings back memories. I finished Kimono Jihen like a while ago. I think the anime, like it's been a while. after I watched the anime for Kimono Jihen, I think I stopped for a bit to read the manga, and I don't think the animes ever kicked back up again. It was kind of fun. Sakamoto days. Yeah.
You should check out Actage. It's
Yeah, yeah, I know you've been repeatedly recommending it. I
it's like
know. I know.
I've been recommending it countless times now through like different sessions, but it seems like people don't pick it up. But yeah, it's like a shonen manga about acting, like acting in movies and theater, which has a very unique concept. So I don't
Okay,
know.
so theater kid manga. Got
Yeah,
it. Okay,
basically.
that like I'm the target audience for this then, because I'm a theater kid. Okay.
Oh wow, okay. I have to ask about that later on.
Not this isn't the space for that.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. That's why I
Okay.
said later on.
Okay. How about everyone else? I just like to see people's like manga taste in chat, honestly, at this point. Um Alvin, I'm not sure if Kimono Jihan ended. I haven't checked back in a while. Has it ended? I know the anime um actually hasn't finished. I think the anime was only like just one season and I don't think they really continued it.
I feel like
But yeah.
Doctor Stone is very underrated as well.
I'm updated on Doctor Stone. I just
Yeah.
finished it.
Oh
I
wow.
just finished it like the other day.
Does it
And
deserve so much more attention?
yeah, it but I
See?
it deserve the art is so
Oh,
it's
definitely.
so like I feel like it's exceptional compared to like a lot of like mainstream manga out there.
Definitely.
Like Bochi? I think
Yeah,
the
I
artist
feel
is
like his
Bochi, right?
name is Butch or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, Butch. All
Yeah.
right. But it's
Mm,
spelled as like
yeah.
Bochi, but it's Butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Boichi. I'm sorry.
I Boichi. Okay,
Yeah,
got it. But yeah, his art is so amazing, and also I feel
definitely.
like the premise itself, I feel like I typically am not a fan of like learning like
Burning?
like learning about
Oh,
science. Like
okay.
science is a subject that I've always struggled with, right? But reading the manga, I found like okay, I had no trouble digesting this at all because it was so fun to go through. And yeah, it's so fascinating. I felt like the ending was should I talk about the ending? Do you
But
know then?
just, I haven't, but like just
Okay.
say if
No, no,
it's
no, no. I'm not gonna
befitting of
share.
the story
I'm not
or
gonna
not.
share. But like I feel like it was a solid ending for
Okay, there
me,
we
at
go.
least. It was a
That
solid ending.
that
It's really good.
that's the perfect info.
Yeah. And also the latest season of the anime is really cool too. I mean
Mm.
it's almost like a one-to-one adaptation of the manga,
Oh,
I
that's
feel the
cool.
anime. So yeah, if you guys want to watch the anime, it's also cool. Yeah, and if you guys know, just so you guys know, recommendation, the artist for Doctor Stone is I think made a One Piece manga. Boichi made a manga I think about Ace.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it like a dojin or dojinshi or did he work with Oda at some point? What's up?
It's like, let me see. As far as it is like canon, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's canon, and the story. Yeah, the publisher behind it is Shueisha, so it is like an official. It's an official like
Oh, I
side
see.
story, and the art's by Boichi.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's really cool. Just One Piece in Boichi's art, it's really cool.
I definitely have to check that out as well. I should search it up right now.
Yeah. Right, you guys. Sorry. We got into like talking about manga there for a bit, but you have 5 minutes left on the clock, you guys. Okay, show of hands in chat, who wants to extend? If we get a majority of people saying to extend it, then we are gonna extend it by like perhaps how long should we extend it, coach? How long do you feel?
I feel like an extension of like honestly 10 minutes. I
10?
feel like that's
Okay.
good. What do you
Okay,
think,
got
though?
it. 10 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
if we get do you guys want to extend 10 minutes? Just let us know in chat. Just say yes, extend or something like that. Yeah. If we get a majority, we are going to extend. So don't so everyone so everyone has to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. So coach, you can go ahead and extend.
Okay, okay. Let me add in a bunch of minutes here. And there we go. Ah, so a lot of people asking for extensions. Hopefully some of them are asking for extensions for the sake of line art or refining. But yeah, very excited to see what you guys come up with. Earthbound Hanako, I believe I watched the anime like back during the pandemic. Yeah, Alvin. I have a bunch of friends whose art styles have ventured off into that realm as well. You know, very heavily inspired by it. So yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, it's fine to like study um the art styles of other mangakas or artists, but yeah, truth be told, personally for me, I like to have that own spice of like, oh, I have this own flair, adding in my own flair to like that specific art style, because it makes it a lot more you, if you will. It makes it yours, innate, something that you've nurtured yourself. So, it's not like personally for me, like trying to copy an art style of another artist one to one isn't exactly like rewarding in a sense. And of course, it's always nice to what's the right term? To like know yourself, you know, what you like, what you don't like, and adjust off of that. Yeah. Um yeah. But yeah, it's something of your own as well, Alvin. So really, right? You want to have that own, something like an art style that's, you'll be known for. Like, oh, this art style, I recognize that this is Alvin's work. So that's always cool in its own. Yeah, draw for yourself, not for others. It's like the primary goal, if you will.
Yeah. All right, so now that we've extended the timer, you guys, let us know what are you guys doing. Can we get a quick update for from you guys? What is everyone working on at this moment? Okay, some people have finished. What about the rest? What are you guys working on? Maybe we can help if you have any if you have any concerns.
Yeah. See, some of them took the time, the extension for like finalization,
Yeah.
rendering.
Yeah. Last panel. Okay, Jan's on the last panel. What about everyone else in the session? What are you guys working on now? All right, some people in YouTube. Someone's working on backgrounds. Wow. You
Very
got the time to
impressive.
work on backgrounds. That's impressive. Yeah. I'm still stuck. I don't think well under pressure. Again. Again, I know it's easy to say don't overthink it, but okay, how can we tell Coach Nico what would be your advice
Mm.
aside from don't overthink it? How
Yep.
can you make not make, but how can you help people like try
Mm.
to digest that easier? Because I know when I tell someone not to overthink it, they don't always
Yeah.
take it to heart right away. Like they
Yeah.
struggle to get through.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, what would be your advice?
Personally, it's honestly the way I see it is it's also like for partially from the environment you're in. So let's say like
Mm,
you're stuck in this overthinking loop in front of your drawing tablet. Take the time away from your drawing tablet, you know, go outside, go on your front lawn if you will, play with your cat or your pet. That's usually what I do, you know. I take the time away from like any screen, whether it be my phone or my computer, just so I can have that breath of fresh air, you know,
mm,
that breath away from the scene or like my workspace. And then once I feel like I've rested enough, you know, taking the time to rejuvenate myself, I go back and have a fresh take on things. So that always helps me out. And I hope that
yeah.
kind of helps out the others here as well.
Yeah. So go out and touch some grass.
Yes.
or or for Dell, like since you are on a timer, maybe take like 2 or 3 minutes to just
Yeah.
stand, walk
Perhaps lay
around a
down
bit.
question mark.
Yeah. Question yeah. Or just look outside a window and try to break away from your
Yeah.
monitor if you're working digitally. That's
Mm-hmm.
I find that always helps. Like me, I work for long periods in front of a monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So it always helps to take like 10 five ten
Yeah.
minute breaks away from the screen. So
Exactly. Yeah, I love you know the window advice you gave. I love that. I personally like just awkwardly looking at my neighbor's home or the rooftops, if you will. It's very weird, but like it's how do I say this? It's like it's very calming, you know. Like it's like a background in an anime. So
yeah.
yeah, that sounded weird now that you
So no no
laughed.
no no no, no. Fixate it. It's fixate on whatever you fixate on. Like
Exactly.
you can't always help what you fixate on in the
Yeah.
moment, you know?
Yeah.
So like when I'm in public and when I get distracted, I don't often realize what I'm looking at right away.
Exactly.
I just fixate on it, you know, and
Exactly.
that's natural.
Yeah,
So,
my guilty weird fixations are telephone posts and like power lines. I feel like
mm,
they make like a neighborhood or like a city scene very aesthetic. So I don't know, it's very weird, but like it's always like something I look at sometimes without, you know, unconsciously. Oh, the question was like what um yeah, it was just an advice on like overthinking or, you know, working under pressure. So,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, what about you, Candice? This time
Okay.
around, I'm gonna throw back the
Oh
question.
right. Sorry. I was gonna share because I was trying to think if this was appropriate to share.
Mhm,
But I think it's fun anyways. It's not a big deal. But one time while I was out I think it was I was at the mall in the mall cafeteria
mhm,
and I was just waiting for someone. So I was sitting around waiting for someone and I saw a bunch of these like tourists. I don't know what country they came from, what their ethnicity was. So
mhm,
I can't I couldn't tell you. But again, they were tourists. So
mhm,
there was like a bunch of them um scattered throughout the mall cafeteria because like they were all like trying to get something to eat, right? So
mhm.
all of them they were all in Crocs wearing white socks. Like
Mhm.
it was uniform.
Whoa.
All wearing white socks with various like colors of Crocs. and just like I was just staring at all of these like sock crocs going around the cafeteria because I was like, "Oh, there's a yellow one. Oh, there's a black one." Like what's the next color I'm gonna like it was fun because I personally I fixated on it because I hate when people wear socks with
Oh,
sandals. Honestly,
is it
it's
like
it's a it's a peeve of mine because like one, we live in a tropical country. It's so humid. It's so hot. And like that day, it was so hot outside. And I'm like, okay, you're wearing socks with sandals. Are your feet not sweaty? Like that's what I was thinking, just
wait?
staring at all these Crocs going around the mall.
Okay, this
Yeah.
this is a very interesting topic for me. Is
No,
it
it's yeah, go
is
ahead, go
it
ahead.
is it what? Is it Crocs with sandals? Or sorry, Crocs with socks specifically that
No, not just that, any type of sandals.
any type of
I
sandals?
see like people wearing Birkenstocks with socks. I don't like it either. Like people wearing like what do you call this? Slippers with socks. I don't like either. Like, it's just a thing with
Oh
me. I don't get
my.
it. I
Oh
really don't get
gosh.
it.
You're gonna
No, it's an
yeah.
oh, given by your reaction, you wear sandals with
Um
socks then.
like obviously to each their own, but like the personally the Crocs with socks thing is a no-go for me. But
It's
I
an ick.
do wear
Yeah.
sandals with or flip-flops with socks. It's very
Yeah.
comfortable for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
you're gonna
mean,
judge
I
me.
think I think the whole concept of like an open shoe with socks is not making sense to me.
It definitely seems like it. But
Yeah, that's what's
again,
not making sense. Yeah.
yeah, to each their own. The
Yeah.
Crocs thing questionable, but like flip-flops, I find them like comforting in a sense. I don't know why.
Mm,
Definitely
mm-mm,
is.
mm. I think just as long as you aren't sweating and your feet
It
aren't sweaty,
yeah,
it's fine.
definitely.
It's fine
Definitely.
because that's my number one concern every time I see
Okay.
someone in
Okay.
public wearing that.
I
It's like,
see.
are
I
your
see.
feet okay? So, yeah. It's just a personal ick of mine, you
Of course.
guys.
I don't
It's
judge.
mostly coming from a place of concern. Again, concern for your sweaty feet. That's really that's really just it. But to each their own. It's
Of
if you do
course.
if that's something that you do, no judgment here. I mean, I do some weird shit too. So, but yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes left.
Let's go
Okay.
back to topic.
Going like moving on from questionable fashion choices. Okay. We're 3 minutes left on the clock, you guys. What are you guys working on? Are you guys almost done? Send us some quick update in chat.
I see a bunch of people sending in their work already. They're very excited.
Guys, let's move on from the feet discussion.
Are they still talking about it?
Yeah. Wait, let's move on from foot discourse, please.
Yes.
All
Wait,
right.
wait. Okay, I have to say something before we move on. Wearing it with like the wearing socks um with the with the flip flop where you have like this structure going in your toe. That's weird for me. That's all I'm
Oh,
gonna say.
when there's like a it it
Like
it 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 like divots into your sock.
like the one with like the string thing.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Like what's the point of the sock and at that point? Okay, going
Exactly.
back.
Yeah,
Okay, how
there
do
we
I
go.
send a picture? You guys, there is a button there. The paper button in chat. Like it looks like like a piece
Yeah,
of
it
paper with
says
like a
file.
folded corner. And it says file, yeah. And once you click that, you have an option to send in a file from your computer or from any other app that you're using. So yeah, if you use your phone, if you have Google Drive on your phone, perhaps like you can take a picture using your phone, upload it to your drive, and then if you're logged in with the same account um for this Zoom session, you can connect it and like just upload it directly from your drive. So,
Yeah, you
all right.
have like 1 minute and 30 seconds left, guys. So, think of like the cooking contest shows like MasterChef, and it's more or less adding in your garnish for your final glaze, if you will. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Adding in your structure. It can be the sketch that's completely fine, but so long as you get the structure down, that's the most important thing. The Kishot and Ketsu story structure, you're gonna be using it throughout your manga creating venture, throughout your mangaka career. So it's very important that this early on, with just a yonkoma, you're able to practice it properly. Very interesting, Sam. Very, very funny. I hope you were able to get the facial expression of Gordon Ramsay down, as that is the most important thing. Okay, we're down to our last 10 seconds, guys. And there we go. We are done. Feel free to send in all your work, guys. If you can, if you're working traditionally, please make sure to take a picture that that is properly readable, easily visible. That way we can critique it a lot more effectively. Yeah, there we go, guys. Candice, I feel like this time around we can critique the students' work or
Mm.
the people's work now.
Yeah, we can start critiquing.
Uh,
If but let's like give them a bit more time because I think we only have a couple of
yeah, feel
submissions.
free to send it now.
Yeah, just giving you guys like one more minute to send in
Mhm.
your submissions
Yeah,
before we start. Because once we start, we're not gonna be entertaining any more submissions, you guys.
exactly. I feel like we can start a timer for this one as well. There we go.
Yeah, so again, there is a file button in
Yep.
in the Zoom chat. If
Let
you
me
click
send it in.
file,
Then,
yeah.
yeah, basically super simple. As a matter of fact, if you guys are on your computers, just drag in the file into the comment section, and you can send it to that method as well.
You mean the chat.
Yes, the sorry, the chat.
All right. Okay, I see a lot of fun Yonkomas here, you guys. Congrats to everyone who submitted. Even if it's unfinished, you guys, feel free to submit it as well. We can
Mhm.
still take a look at it if we can. All right, and that's it for submissions, you guys. Now, Coach Nico, I think you can go ahead and choose the first one.
Yes, that is correct. Let me just share in my screen as well, or my drawing screen. Okay. Oh, it should be visible now. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can see my my warm up, if you will. There we go. Let me just adjust a few things. Let me know in chat, guys, if you can see my screen as well. Hopefully it is visible. Okay, let me just set a few things up. And the first, oh, uh, can everyone see it now?
Yeah, we
Okay,
can see
there
it.
we go.
Yeah.
So here is the first work. This is by, let me just fix this up. By 8:25, I believe. Hello, hello. 8:25. Feel free to unmute and tell me how did it feel making your first yonkoma, or rather, this yonkoma. No?
Or if you can't unmute, you can just send it
Yeah,
in chat A25.
just send in through chat. What are your thoughts on it, and like what you struggled with while making these?
Hello?
Hello, hello,
Yeah,
hello.
sorry, sorry, I couldn't do, sorry, I really couldn't think of anything in front of all that pressure. I basically like to take my time when it comes to drawing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a bit of struggle hearing you. Is it okay if you can just type it in,
Yes,
perhaps? Sure, sure.
yes, okay, sorry.
It's fine. Oh, that's cool. You're fine. 825. The idea came fast, but execution is always challenging. I see. I feel like honestly you did a really good job doing this 825. If this is already impressive considering you did this with a pen. Did you sketch it in? But yeah, that's completely fine as well. You were able to do your line art. So yeah. Let me give it a quick read. Yeah, hopefully you were able to understand the Kisho Tenketsu story structure properly. It's a good day. Okay, there we go. You seem to have been able to follow the Kisho Tenketsu structure properly. Um yeah. And for now, my biggest advice would be to have a bit more variation with your like scenes, your angles and whatnot for each scene. So that variation always helps out, um you know for a more entertaining read for your readers or for your viewers. So like, you've already used like a front view angle here. There is necessarily not or there is not much necessity in using them repeatedly throughout your scenes, because it will more or less just be redundant. So be aware or be wary of the kind of angles you use or like shots per scene, because it will make for a more effective storytelling. Like for example, your first panel can always be like a wide shot, like just to um introduce. After all, this is your key, right? So introducing the scene to your readers is very important. So having in that establishing shot, if you will, of just the person waking up from a top down high view is very like all the more very interesting. So something like this, right? You have your bed down, your pillow here. Um, but yeah, basically a very top view angle, very expressive, um, and all the more interesting. We get to see his bedroom, we get to see his full body in bed, we get to see his the current state of his room, if you will. Is he very messy? Is he very tidy? That says a lot about his character very early on. So something like this, right? And then from then on, you can move forward to like your close shots, like this one, which shows a lot more interesting facial expressions like this. And then, adding in those details of like having your eyebrows raised can make for it all the more interesting character design and expressions that will be a lot more expressive. And yeah, I feel like overall this is a very good start, 825. And yeah, like this one, this is very interesting, very expressive having this in. But if you can just continue it all throughout the scene, that will be like a lot more like that will be a lot more effective in storytelling and like, you know, just showing the effect as a whole. So there we go. That should be it for me. 825. Hopefully that was very helpful. A quick yes in chat. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, 825. And yeah, I feel like we can move on to the next submission. Do you have any other question before we move forward, 825? But yeah, that should be good. Okay, let's move forward. I should put this in folder. Okay, thank you. And the next one would be drum roll. Just a second. Um, okay, here we are. A lot of traditional artists this time around. Very impressive. Yeah. Ah, here we are. I believe this is from. Oh no, I seem to have lost the name. I'm sorry. But yeah, feel free to unmute. Oh, this should be Alteri. There we go.
Hello.
Alteri. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Um, that was pretty stressful, but I'm doing fine.
Okay, there we go. How did it feel? Is this your first Yonkoma?
Yeah, I've only seen a few of them. It took me
Mm,
10 minutes looking at references to get down the
okay,
idea.
okay. That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, are there any particular struggles you've had while making this? Very impressive, despite the short amount of time we had, or rather the amount of time we had. Yeah, so is there anything that comes to mind that you kind of struggled with aside from ideating the story?
I guess the pressure made my hand tremble a bit, and I messed up a
Okay,
lot of the
okay.
lines, and I had to undo a lot on the last panel. You
Mm-hmm.
can probably see it.
Yep, yep. Okay, I feel you. But yeah, very good job. I really like the character design you have. This is very interesting. Is this like a hat? Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Very, very cool. So yeah, cool. Very cool character design, but my critiques would mainly be so firstly on the paneling. So this is very unorthodox for like a Yonkoma, don't not having in those gutters. I get that more or less perhaps you wanted to take advantage of your space, but like next time around it would be a lot more comprehensive if you use that traditional structure of having in your um these gutters are super helpful as well for like see for your readers as they know that it is they are separate scenes. So yeah, just follow the standard structure. And then as for your scenes, very interesting. You went for like a wide shot here. If I may read this real quick. So why do you want to join our SMP? Okay. This is like a Minecraft reference.
Yeah, it's based on a Minecraft server.
Okay, okay. Very creative. Only one reason. Okay. Hot chicks. Okay, there we go. Very you follow the story structure of the Kisha Danketsu very well. Um yeah, very funny gag. Very nice use of your scenes or like these hatching thing, but like don't overdo it. So like I see that this is like your electric thing going on, but you've more or less it will be a lot more appropriate should you just have had it here rather than here. Like this could have been another one of your um those very dark environment effects just to kind of sell that, oh, I'm being serious um effect, if you will. So yeah, you wanted to darken these stuff out, right? Hence the hatching.
Yes, I tried to.
Okay, okay, there we go. Very good use of like this top-down shot. So that's always very effective in selling like a scene. So always very good on that note. Just avoid these tangents. So like if you have this, if you have your border here, your drawings shouldn't be touching them because that kind of mess with your viewers, and they kind of get confused. That's more or less like an illusion, if you will. So it's best to avoid these things as they also make your drawings look flat. So your head is touching this one. your hair, the point of your hair here, right, like here, seems to be touching it like this as well. So these are sort of minor details that you may want to keep an eye out for. Like even this one is about to touch more or less. So avoid those things. It's either keep them within the space or within the panel or let them overlap past the scene. So it should look something like this. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Sorry, Coach Nico. Real
Mhm.
quick, we have a question from YouTube. What are tangents? Can you more
Oh, sure, sure.
can you
Uh,
break it down? Yeah.
sure, sure. So first off, tangents are basically, this intersection of lines that goes on that you see like these. So tangents are basically these intersections, right? So here, here, here. And more or less tangents are very inevitable when it comes to drawing, but there are two main types of tangents that you will want to avoid. And those are first off, kissing tangents. So kissing tangents. Sorry for the very rushed writing. Kissing tangents are basically like when your drawing touches another object or another element within your drawing. That makes it all the more awkward looking. So kind of like the scene here. This is a kissing tangent. This is also a kissing tangent, with the hair. So this is one of them that you should avoid, and another one being stealing tangents. So stealing tangents, these are, oh, let me write that down real quick. Stealing tangents. These are basically tangents, more of like so when you have an object here behind the scene, and then you got another one like so, like right here in front of them, that kind of steals their silhouette. That's something you should avoid. So if you have like a person right here, like let's say a cat here. Oh, let's draw a quick cat behind, and another one like here. Chances are this character below is gonna be stealing their tangent or stealing their silhouette. So that's another one you will want to avoid. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Basically, these are things that you need to avoid if you wanna avoid like messing with perspective, I guess, and the depth of your drawings.
Exactly. So the
Yeah.
depth of your drawing is all the more affected should you
Yeah.
not keep, should you not be aware of these things. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
silhouettes are very important. Your negative space, these are all things you very basic, very easy to overlook. But having these minor attention to details makes for a more effective drawing.
Yeah. And also, I
So
just wanted to touch on Coach Nico. I noticed that Alteri used Japanese sound effects. I think it's that one in the third panel,
yes,
dun
yes,
dun. So this is the Japanese, I believe, onomatopoeia for dun
yes.
dun. So it's good that Alteri like included the English translation like as a subtitle below the sound effect itself. But I think something it's not that it's wrong, but I
Mhm.
think if something to for everyone in the session to take note of moving forward is if you're making a manga that is primarily in the English language and you're making manga for an English speaking audience, then it's always more appropriate to use
Mhm.
English sound effects over Japanese sound effects, right? Especially if you're
Yes.
planning on publishing your work yourself, self-publishing your work, or perhaps showing your work to publishers,
Mhm.
especially like English publishers like Viz. As far as I know, they do prefer when everything is in English. So you don't have to force yourself to insert like Japanese sound effects just because you think, oh, this is a manga, I need to use like Japanese sound effects. No, that's not necessary. So if you're creating manga for an English speaking audience, then you have to make sure that everything in your manga can be understood by an English speaking audience, and like English speaking people can understand like Japanese sound effects right away, as soon as they see it, right? So even if there is like a translation subtitle for here in this case, it's fine because there's a translation, But I do know some people forget to insert that transition and they just like insert Japanese sound effects just because it looks cool. So, yeah, try to avoid including elements that an English speaking audience won't understand right away because
Mhm.
that's going to affect like your readership and that's going to affect like the readability of your manga. Readability, I mean, is the ability for your readers to easily understand your manga, and that is the number one thing that every mangaka, every pro mangaka um has to prioritize above all else is the readability. So some readers if some readers are confused reading your manga, then you've essentially failed your job as a mangaka. So you have to make sure that your manga is easily digestible, easily understandable, and it whatever choices you make, whatever creative choices you make, don't forsake the readability of your manga. All right, so something to keep in mind, you guys, for the future. All that said, going back to
Very,
Coach
very good.
Nico.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very informative, Candice. So, but yeah, I understand if I can touch up on this a bit more. I understand how aesthetic, Japanese aromatherapy can be. Hence why we kind of want to use them as well. But yeah, personally, my way of doing things is that I study how they do their typography for like Japanese onomatopoeia as well. So you can just do just that as well. Imitate like the aesthetic or the style of doing things. So like if you have like your done thing going on, you can just kind of make it kind of thick as well. You know, be more effective with it, and then add in a bunch of other minor details that makes it all the more like eye catching. Not too eye catching though that it steals the um how do I say this? It steals the attention away from your actual scene. But yeah, that should be good. That's about it for me. Alteri, was that very helpful for you? Hopefully it is. Yeah. Do you have any other questions before we move forward? No?
You can unmute now, Alter.
Yeah. Um,
Hello.
yes. Hello, hello.
Thank you. That was very helpful. I'll
Okay.
try to improve on the next workshop, maybe.
Definitely. That's good to know, my friend. Then yeah, best of luck to your future mangas and yonkomas.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we look forward to
Oh,
seeing more of your mangas, Alter. This
Mhm.
is really cool.
Yes. Hey. Oh,
hello.
hello. Hello, hello.
Um, can I ask a question, please? And this is going to be a little off topic.
Hello,
Um,
Del. I'm afraid we cannot understand you with your current mic setup. So if you could just type in your
Yeah,
question in chat, that would be best because we can't understand you. You sound really muffled.
I'm asking if I can ask a question.
Yes, we still don't understand you, unfortunately. Can you if you can fix your mic, I think that would be best. If you can't type.
yeah. Um,
Mm,
so
I
yeah,
really
we
don't know what's happening with that.
Yeah, can you just type in your question in chat, please?
Yeah. But yeah, we also have a Q&A portion later on we can delve upon. So yeah, feel free to just type it in and then we will answer it afterwards. But yeah, moving forward to the final submission. So yeah, let's critique the final one this time around. Hopefully everyone's still chiming in, very interesting lessons. I hope it is interesting. At the final one being from I believe this. I keep losing track of the name. I'm sorry. Let me just look for this real quick once more. I believe this is from. Okay, this is from Num Num. Hello, Num Num. Very funny. IGN. Feel free to
Hello.
unmute. Hello.
I'm too nervous. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. There's no need to be nervous. How was it? How did it feel making your first Yonkoma? Is this your first one?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. There we go. How was it?
it was like
Okay.
so
We
so.
okay. Did it was it very um very, how do I say this, informative? Did you learn a lot of things with the Kisho Tenketsu and the structure?
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I
that's good to
follow.
know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Tell me a thing or two about your story.
Um, I don't know.
I'm sorry, what was that?
This is my OC
Okay.
in an interview
Mhm.
of biology teacher.
Okay. Okay, there we go. That's good to know. I see the eye, so
First,
that's already very catching. Go ahead.
mm, first of all, my English is not like good.
It's fine. Go ahead.
This is Murasaki, the first
Hmm.
on the right,
Hmm.
and she is I can't.
You're good. You're good. It's okay. Okay, it's fine. I
It's
understand what you
my
mean.
first. It's my first time like talking with other people.
Okay. Okay, I see. Well, I'm not gonna pressure you any further. No, no, it is completely
Thanks.
fine. I understand the entire premise, but it's great to be able to speak to you. So yeah, first off, I see that you have a very interesting character, very interesting premise as well. So let me give it a quick read.
Okay.
Okay, I see. Very interesting. He has a very awkward or very distinct skill of not causing any pain when taking off the eyes. Uh, very specific, way too specific. So very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, did you struggle with anything while making this aside from making the idea for your story?
Yeah. I struggle with find an idea and
Mm-hmm.
camera angles.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. But yeah, basically, you seem to have done a really good job with like, you know, choosing your establishing shot here. We instantly get an idea of how like the characters we will be following throughout the story. So that's really good. I see. Okay, so this is good. You can opt for like a top-down scene as well of like putting an angle where we see more of the front view of your main character or your protagonist. So for example,
Mm.
I have like Murasaki-chan here. I see his face a lot more, so I can have him here. And then, I can have kind of your interviewer here turned around. So that makes for like kind of like an interesting scene. It gives all the more focus on your
The
main character here.
protagonist.
Yes, that is correct. And so yeah, again, there's nothing wrong here, but like I said earlier, avoid the tangents here. So you're kind of doing like this thing going on. So avoid these the kind of situations. And
Okay.
um yeah, as for your scenes here, nothing wrong with them, but like you can elevate them further. Like this one, for example, you can add in like an effect here just so
Mm-hmm.
we notice the eyeball a lot quicker. Your readers will be a lot more aware as to what is going on, what is being shown. So once we get around to reading from right to left, right, so we see the character first, and then
Oh,
we see this, your text, but we also get a lot more interested in this element of your drawing because you got this manpu going on, your effect here.
focus the attention on it.
Yes, that is correct. And then this one is very good, very, very good. I like this scene. If you can opt for a top-down view or like a worm's eye view angle of
Um,
like your face here, like so.
mhm.
Like very top, very angular. it will make for a more interesting scene. Very dramatic. And yeah, something like this. And then of course this effect is always very effective. So, a good way of adding them in is like having that small variation of, having your long ones in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. And then lastly, a quick general tip for everyone. Make sure that again, this is a sketch after all, but like make sure the text within the alignment of your text within your speech bubble is centered, regardless of the shape. So for example, in the English speech bubbles situation, you'll have more of like this up like horizontally elongated speech bubble. But like a good way is to have it centered and then use an H. This is like an H method that our mentors have taught us. But yeah, having this H in here helps us center down our
Yeah,
text a
but
lot better.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I couldn't do that because I draw it traditionally.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um,
But yeah,
like
you
usually I
can.
put
Mhm.
text digitally.
Yeah, this works very well for digital as well. But yeah, this is just something to keep in mind. So yeah, having this H in helps you center your text in, like even for like different speech bubble shapes. You know, very helpful. It keeps it a lot more neat, and yeah, there we go. Hopefully that helped you out a lot, Num Num.
Yeah, and also
Oh,
Coach
thanks.
Nico, real quick, I wanted to
Mhm,
point out the speech bubble in the fourth panel. I
mhm,
think it's a compliment. Okay, it's not like a nitpick. I feel like the detail of the speech bubble tail going inward and pointing to the direction of where the main character is a really good detail. And
mhm,
it's something that a lot of beginners overlook. They often don't know that if your speaker is off screen, off
mhm.
panel, this is one of the ways you could include like dialogue for them even though they're not currently in the panel. So if your speaker is off screen, you use like an inward tail. This is an inward tail speech bubble.
Exactly.
So using inward tail speech bubbles is what mangakas typically use for including dialogue for characters who are again off screen and not visible in the panel. And the direction of your tail should be in the same direction of where your character is situated in the scene. So this character is in front or to the right of this teacher, I believe. So the inward tail is pointing to the right where the character is. So that's something that you guys could keep in mind, take note of for future reference for when you're making mangas and when you want to like I don't know, include dialogue like this. So it's really useful to use this kind of speech bubble, and it's also a really useful thing to just have in your arsenal for when you're like laying out your speech bubbles. So yeah, it can be tricky. Beginners don't really know how to use inward speech bubbles or don't really notice this half of the time. So this is
Yeah,
really good. This is really good.
yeah. Good eye for that, Candice. I didn't even notice that, but I most likely overlooked it. But yeah, super helpful having in these this inner speech bubbles. We get to easily understand that someone is speaking outside of the panel.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. That is it from me as well, Num Num. Do you have any questions before we move forward?
Thank you. Uh, I wanted my protagonist to
Mhm,
speech bubbles,
mhm.
like calm,
Oh,
like talking in low voice,
oh,
like
okay.
she is cold and heartless.
Mhm. Yeah. An effect you can do for that once you get around to digitalizing your text. Like oftentimes we see that as well. But what you can do is like you can have in your speech bubble, right? So let's say your speech bubble, and then make it so that the text is a lot smaller than intended. So like if you, for example, for your teacher character here, right? You usually have your text a lot bigger for them, where like it takes advantage of the space of the speech bubble. And then what you can do is that for your character who speaks a lot quieter, you can have it a lot smaller. And then you can and then you can opt for like lowercase text.
Um,
So oftentimes, right, for manga and comics, we use like cast capital like capital letters, so on and so forth, and then you can just add in smaller letters for like soft spoken characters. And then another
so
option we also do for like whispery kind of characters, or like soft spoken ones, would be to have in your
Dotted
speech
line.
bubble
Yeah.
dotted, or like
Broken.
what do you
Basta
call this?
broken siya.
Yeah,
dashes.
dashing. Yeah, dash. Some people even do this, just
Yeah,
dots.
yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
The time
Oh,
was so short, so I didn't think of this.
yeah, but those are a few options you have, and make what
So
you will with that. Mm,
the font matters.
yes, the font helps out a lot as well.
All
And,
right, I will keep this in mind.
oh yeah, Candice even sent it in as well. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that's it for me. Candice, do you have anything else to say before we move forward?
No, yeah, this is great. I'm really
No,
just a compliment for Num Num. I feel like this character, the brooding sort, intimidating. She's giving me like Wednesday vibes.
Oh,
If you guys know who
yes.
Wednesday,
Yes, I got
like
that vibe as well.
yeah, yeah, really interesting character. I really love
um,
how developed the character is. Like you see so much of her personality in just one panel, and that's like a really
Exactly.
effective use of just a panel to really tell a story just using visual cues. I mean, just look, I don't even have to read the dialogue, just looking at her expression and the way that she's like literally dangling an eyeball out of her
Mhm.
hand, that tells me enough. Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Exactly.
tells me a lot about her character. So, really good use of visual storytelling, Num Num. I think this is really great. And
thank
I'd love to
you.
see more about this character. So, I hope to see you future in future sessions, or for every, not just for Num Num, but
Yeah,
for everyone else in chat as well. If you guys have pages where you share your art, and share your mangas, feel free to send them in chat so that we can all follow. And we'd love to see more of your guys' work. So, and also it's also opportunity for you guys to plug in your stuff. So yeah, great job, Num Num. This is really cool.
thank you.
All
There
right.
we go.
So thank you so much, Coach Nico. Really quick, you guys, I want to know, what are your key takeaways from this session? I love to know, like, I know we asked each participant like what they were struggling with, but I'd love to know from the people we didn't get to talk to during the critiquing part. What are your key takeaways? It could be something you struggled with, it could be something that new that you learned or never thought of before. I'd love to know. This is a space for us to share with each other and learn from each other. So I want to see if anyone has been following the lessons that Coach Nico has been dropping. All right, speech bubble in space. Yes. So speech bubbles are really important. Speech bubbles is something that a lot of beginners tend to overlook. They don't really dwell on formatting the speech bubbles as much, which is unfortunate. But again, I understand that it's a detail that not a lot of beginners can afford to think about because they're still learning all of the foundational stuff like how to storyboard, how to panel. These are easily like more significant skills, more important skills to get a handle of at first, if you just started out learning how to make manga. But once you are like at a point where, okay, your composition is pretty good, your paneling is pretty good, speech bubbles, learning how to format speech bubbles is something that you could start learning as well, because that is something that editors will look at if you decide to like show them their work. They are gonna check your speech bubbles and how like you lay out the dialogue for your story. All right, any other takeaways? These are lesson I'm not entertaining any questions at this point, you guys, just takeaways. Okay? And for people who are perhaps watching the replay after this live session, please feel free to send in your takeaways in the comments as well and leave them for everyone else to check out. Who else? Yonkoma format and how to use a Kisho Tenketsu in just 4 panels. Yes. I would hope you guys understood how to make a would understand how to make a Yonkoma and how to plan out the Kisho Tenketsu in 4 panels after this session. I'm glad that people learned about that for today. If you guys have any other confusions about Kisho Tenketsu or about the Yonkoma format, we will be entertaining them during the Q&A. But for now, again, any more learnings? I'd love to read them aloud. All right. The time constraint actually helped me to produce a short comic. I will overthink all the time. From this is from Art Bob Monkey. That's nice to know. That's we do these types of exercises with our students all the time where we put them on a time limit. And for the first few tries, people do struggle with the time limit, but that's the point of practice, right? This isn't like something that you do just once, putting yourself on a time limit and like just drawing on the spot based on a prompt on the spot. This is actually a good way to exercise your skills. Just take if you're busy and you can't like work on your manga, if you're not working on any projects, any major projects, and you still want to make you still want to make progress in your free time and just like brush up on your visual storytelling skills, then you could just like take a random prompt and just draw 4 panel yonkoma, right? It's a really good exercise. It keeps the creative juices flowing, I feel. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that the time constraint actually helped. Yeah. Who else? Okay, one more takeaway. Establishing shots to show a lot of information very quickly with a small amount of space. Yes, establishing shots are very important, you guys. I mean, the to explain the importance of establishing shots, like think of it as if you're watching a film, right? So when filmmakers cut to a new scene, right? Like a film is essentially a a cluster of scenes just like compiled together, right? So let's say when a director cuts to a new scene in a movie, typically the opening shot would be an establishing shot just to reestablish the new setting. Okay, we've moved on from the previous scene and now we're moving into a new setting. And we want to make sure that the audience understands where they are, where the characters are, what's happening, what's the vibe, what's the mood, where are the characters situated in the scene, blocking essentially. So blocking your characters in the scene, that's really important to that's the main goal when you create your establishing shot, right? So everyone knows, your readers and you included, you know, okay, where everyone is, where they are. And that way, the consistency of your scenes moving forward is consistent. Like you make sure if character A is on the left and character B is on the right, and you establish that in the establishing shot and makes it easier for you to maintain that consistency for the next couple of panels. Okay, always maintain that character A is on the left and character B is on the right. Or you have to also, if they're moving around, you also have to show another establishing shot of them like changing positions, that sort of thing. So making manga is all about making sure that your audience understands what is going on 100% of the time. Okay, there can be no confusion of what's going on. All right. So, with that said, you guys, thank you so much for sharing your takeaways. It's been really fun reading about them. And I also want to take this moment to ask the people in the Zoom session to please post and share your work and your takeaways on your socials and make sure to tag us at LTDM Yonkoma Workshop and tag us on Instagram at Learn to Draw Manga. We would love to check out your work after the session, and also it could allow your fellow students to check out your guys' work after the session as well, and like maybe follow you guys as well. So yeah, feel free to share your works on socials and tag us. Again, it was really nice seeing everyone's work today. Congratulations to everyone who finished their Yonkomas, and also congratulations to everyone who didn't finish their Yonkomas but still tried anyway. You know, again, to everyone who came in today and actually took action and created with us. It's a huge win already. I want you guys to give yourselves a pat on the back. Let's give everyone a round of applause in chat. Just drop a clapping emoji in chat, or just clap as a reaction in chat, just to give you guys a pat on the back and a round of applause. You guys deserve it. Congratulations, you guys. And yeah, now that you guys know how to make your yonkoma, we want to ask you, are you ready to take action and finally bring your manga to life? Are you goal driven and ready to commit to making your manga dreams a reality? Are you a determined mangaka who wants to finally publish their first manga through self publishing, joining manga contests, and pitching to publishers? And if this is you, just type yes in the chat. Are you determined? Are you goal driven? Do you want to finally take action? Um I know joining this session, joining this workshop is one way to take action. It's already you taking action. It's already you trying to make something of the dream that you have in your head. Like perhaps some of you guys want to be mangakas, perhaps some of you just want to make manga for yourselves and just want to have a creative outlet, right, for your stories, and you just want to tell stories. Joining this workshop was just the first step, right? Creating alongside other aspiring creatives, other artists, is just the first step. And if you want to move beyond and take the next step beyond this workshop, then just type yes in chat. Are you determined? Are you ready to take action? And are you goal driven? Because if so, if you've answered yes, then I want to invite you guys to apply to our online one shot manga drawing program. All right, because in our program, you'll get the opportunity to work with our Japanese pro mangaka mentors and be part of an awesome community of aspiring mangaka just like yourself. Okay, and just like our students, you'll learn everything from manga drawing basics to crafting a full one shot manga from start to finish. And I just want to show you guys some of our students' progress, right? And this is our student Charisse, and this is her progress in just a couple of months. Right? When she first joined our program earlier this year, she was just um drawing in her free time while waitressing. And she was just this whole time while she was just drawing fan art and drawing in her spare time, she was dreaming of creating manga. She'd always been a fan of manga, but she'd never had the time to do it or never felt like she was good enough. And just a few months into our program, she's already completed multiple manga entries, made multiple one shots, and already submitted her full one shot for the silent manga edition in just a week. Like she finished her submission for the silent manga edition in just a week, you guys. And Charisse has been such a good presence in the group as well. She's been so active and she's been so fun. She's actually been making manga manga one shots about her experience in the program. The one on the right here, this manga here from April, this is one of the manga she made about her experience in the program. These two other characters with her, these are actually other students in the program. So yeah, it's really fun like seeing these one shots from Cherise. She's really talented. And we also have another talented student, Courtney. Courtney joined us back in January 2024 because she wanted to learn how to make manga. She already had some drawing experience, as you can tell from her work back in January 2024, but she felt like she could do better. She joined us. Yes, she already knew how to draw, but she wanted to improve her skills at storyboarding, at paneling, just visual storytelling. And now, just a year later, she's already finished her one shot, like her first 16-page one shot, no dialogue. And her art improved massively. This final product here on the right. from January 2025. This is after countless revision sessions with with our mentors, right? And also with our coaches. So this was really a labor of love. Seeing Courtney go through the entire storyboarding process for her manga was really inspiring. She was really dedicated. It was really fun seeing how much the story has changed from storyboard to final page. So this is just a snippet of her final pages, right? It's so awesome. So yeah, this is what Courtney had to say about the program. I like the sense of community and friendliness this group has fostered among itself and its members. My favorite part of being in this program is the privilege of getting critiques from mangaka instructors who have had firsthand experience in this field, and being able to converse with them and have them critique my work has given me a better understanding of what I should and shouldn't do. Right. And we also have another student, Joe. Joe is one of our students who actually stopped drawing for a good 5 years before joining our program. So before he joined, he didn't draw at all for 5 years. And then he stumbled upon one of our videos and it basically kicked him back into gear. It was like, oh, it's been so long since I've drawn anything or done anything creative. And after like seeing the progress of our students and learning about our program, it basically inspired him to join us. And yeah, it he's made so much progress since joining us in just a couple of months. He's gone from just sketches. He just started out like making sketches for his yonkomas, and now his yonkomas and his one shots are more fleshed out. They're rendered. He's actually doing a lot more shading. He's experimenting with a lot of shading. So yeah, it's been really nice seeing Joe's progress, and it's been really inspiring seeing someone like who stopped for so long and basically gave up for 5 years, just get back into the creative process and just reignite their love for manga again. So it was really nice seeing Joe's progress. And yeah, we also have another one of our students, Takari. Now, Takari joined us, I think, back in 2024. And in over a year, so many changes. Her paneling improved, her shading improved, her storytelling improved. And I think just it's not it's so much has improved. It's not I don't think there's enough time for me to go into detail, right? But as if you can just look at the difference between like her manga from last year to her manga from this year, I think you can tell how much has changed, right? And this is what Takari had to say. So I looked over my previous SMA submission that I finished before joining this course, comparing pages with my recent manga. It's very clear that I learned a lot. And last year I didn't know what screen tone is, how to do paneling, didn't know much about perspective and anatomy, and I struggled literally with everything. It was a pain. This time I already knew what I needed to do. I had a refined process, and it was much easier, especially with the help of coaches. All right. So you've seen our students' result, you guys. You've read how happy they are with the community and guidance from our mentors. So now my question for you is, do you want in too? Just type I want in the chat. If you want to be like our students, if you want to be mentored, personally mentored by our pro Japanese mangakas and our pro editor, then just type I want in chat, right? If you are interested in joining the program, then if you want to make your time making manga more meaningful and more productive, then our online one-shot manga drawing program is for you, because we're on a mission to help you publish your first manga with pro mangakas acting as your editors. All right. So just a quick recap. These are our mentors in the program. We have pro mangakas Naoizawa and Rena Saya, who have both had years, decades of experience in the Japanese manga industry. They've won contests, gotten published, and taught students in Tokyo and abroad. And they know what they're doing, you guys. And we also have our mentors, pro webtoon artist Steph Pastrano, who is known for their art skills, for their fan art, but is currently working on his doujinshi and his ongoing webtoon as well. And we also have our latest mentor, Vivi, who is a pro manga editor. Again, she's worked with manga publishers like Comics and Kadokawa, and alongside editorial teams behind titles like Record of Ragnarok and Unsung Cinderella. And she's helped so many editing international artists and helping them get their one shots published in Japan. All right. And after you join the program, and once you've gone through the program and learned directly from our mentors, for our most committed and high performing students in our program, they will get a chance to go to Japan. Because next year, we're sending our top performing students on an all expense paid trip to Japan to attend the biggest comic convention in Tokyo, with a rare opportunity to pitch your manga to Japanese publishers in person, right? So you can pitch your you can pitch your manga to Japanese publishers, and you could also get the opportunity to get your manga published in our official Learn to Draw manga anthology, right? So we've been cooking up a lot of stuff, lots of exciting opportunities. So if you want to avail of these opportunities in time, now's a great time to try and apply, you guys. So again, this program is for you if you're committed to making your own published manga, you have a unique story you want to share with the world, you're done figuring this all out alone, and you're ready to learn from pro mangaka mentors, and you want to connect with fellow mangakas who seek consistency and empowerment. So, if this sounds like you, then you're invited to apply now. Enrollment is open, and we only accept applicants who are 18 years old and above. So, you guys, this is your time. Please book a free manga consultation call with us now. This is your chance. I mean, during this call, we're going to help you guys figure out how you can work with our pro mangaka mentors and just get to know you more as an artist, right? Because it's always best to have these personal one-on-one calls with people who want to join the program, because we want to figure out what your goals are. We want to figure out if you would be a right fit, if you have the right mentality, if you have the right mindset. And also, we just want to know if we could help you properly, right? So, yeah, in this call, we're just going to talk about you, talk about your manga and what you want to do with your manga. And yeah, it's free. Don't have to pay for it. And it's really just like a short 30-minute call, you guys. So you can book a call through the link on screen, or I can send you guys the link here in chat. Give me a second, real quick. I'm going to send it here. All right. All right, give me a second, you guys. While you guys wait for me to send the link, I am now opening the floor to questions from our audience. So Coach Nico can start answering your guys' questions if you have any questions for Coach Nico about the lessons. And yeah, I think we have enough time to entertain perhaps maybe two or three questions, you guys. We're kind of running out of time, unfortunately. All right. All right, Coach Nico, we have a question from Maurizio. I hope I'm saying that right. What is a good software for mangakas other than Clip Studio? Do you have any other recommendations, Coach Nico?
Yeah, so like other than Clip Studio Paint, which is personally my favorite, like a bunch of people still use like Procreate for making their comics, their manga. So that's really good as well. Another one would I would recommend is what was that? Paint Tool Sai, which to this day a lot of professionals still use. But yeah, honestly, if you want to experiment with those programs, do just that. But my personal recommendation would always be to try to opt for Clip Studio Paint, as they really, really delve in and focus on manga creation. So like it's super optimal, it's super effective for making manga. There we go. Um, can we still answer a few more questions,
Yeah.
Candice?
Yeah. I think two more is good.
Okay, there we go. In case of an art block, in case of an art block, what can I do to keep being creative? Honestly, I don't recommend trying to brute force the art block. What I mean by that is, should you ever be in an art block, don't force yourself to draw further to try and be more creative any further. Take the break. That is more or less the cue to take the break, take the time away from your computer, your drawing tablet, or your, your drawing space, because trying to force yourself to try and get back into the sway of drawing will just force you down deeper into like your creative block, your slump. And realistically, it's not a very pleasant experience. My longest ongoing art block that I've experienced was a year, and that was me trying to the brute force my way into the creative sway of things once again, and it really wasn't helpful at all. Take the break away, whether it be a day, an hour, or a day, a week, a month. It's all the more helpful to take the rest.
Yeah.
And yeah. um
All right. So we also have another questions. From A25. Interesting question. How much needs to be seen clearly on a storyboards? My storyboards work for me, but they tend to be really rough, so I worry about where showing them to an editor because they're really scribble. Okay,
mhm,
so if you're making storyboards to show to an editor, then of course you have to polish it a bit first because you have to make
mhm,
sure that the editor understands it.
yeah.
But typically storyboards are just scribble and chicken scratch. If it's just you like
Mhm,
referring to them, if it's just you looking at them, right? Because the storyboard is mainly there to help the mangaka plan things out,
mhm,
and they use it as a reference for when they do the final sketches and do the inking, right?
yep.
But if you want to show your storyboards to an editor, because I do know that in portfolio reviews, you can show your storyboards. So the main things that you need, the main details in your storyboard that you need to get down are the character positions, like where your characters are. You don't have to draw your characters in detail, just enough that you can differentiate between the characters in the scene. So draw your main character in just enough detail that you can always distinguish them from everyone else in the scene, and also your other main characters as well, if you have like multiple main characters. So just draw them with enough detail that you can distinguish them, but you don't have to draw out like every single detail of their costume or every single detail of their hair or shade their hair or do any shading whatsoever. It's fine. Just make sure you draw them so that they're easily distinguishable. And after that, you also have to plan out your dialogue, speech bubbles. So, planning out two main things for your storyboard: plan out your characters and plan out your speech bubbles. Because these are the two main elements that are going to determine your komawari or your panel flow. So, panel flow is the direction in which readers are going to read your manga, and manga is read from right to left, right? So if you're someone who's never made a manga before and you're not familiar with the traditional reading structure of manga, like right to left, like I said, then it's important for you to plan this out early on, right from the storyboarding stage. So if I have my character enter the scene in this position, where should I put my speech bubble? So it's easy for the reader to go from, okay, they look at my character and now they look at what my character is saying. So that's important. That connection, going from looking at your character to reading the dialogue, that connection is what the reading flow is all about. So you have to make sure that this connection is consistent and natural throughout all your panels. All right. So that's another thing that you need to get down during the storyboarding phase. The reading flow, the komowari. All right. So hope that's a really rough summary, but I can recommend you guys a video that you guys can check out on our channel. It's a video about storyboarding. It's one of our videos about storyboarding, which you can check out. I can send the link here real quick. I'm just gonna send a couple of videos. We do have a couple of videos on this. So yeah, if you want to learn more about the storyboarding process and how you can improve your storyboard even further, then I do recommend that you check out our video on it. Real quick. Okay. So while you guys wait for me to send these links, let's have Coach Nico answer one more question, you guys. All right.
Yeah, sure. Let me
You
find
can go ahead and
one.
choose. You can go ahead
Yeah,
and choose.
yeah. Mm, oh, just a second. It's updating. Okay, there's one from Goku. How do I improve my shading and transforms? Um, okay. I struggle with making legs and arms the right size with anatomy and shading is tough. So a very, very how do I say this? Vague question or very in general question, if you will. But basically, for like drawing your proper proportions for your body, um your arms and legs and whatnot, it is a lot all the more important it is a lot more important to focus on your figure drawing rather than your anatomy, because the figure drawing is your underlying structure, your foundation of your drawing, which is where more or less your anatomy will um like fall on top of. So it's that important. So basically, for the time being, it is a lot more important to practice your figure drawings, and the way you do that is by drawing the human body and basic shapes, basic 3D shapes, your cylinders, your boxes, so on and so forth. If you noticed the way I drew my bodies earlier, my sketches of characters earlier, I was just using boxes for the head and the torso, which is all the more important for just making a proper silhouette of your character. It goes a long way, and it's a lot more important than your finer details like your anatomy. So practice that for the time being, and once you get a lot more confident with your proportions, your body drawing, like the bigger shapes of your body, that's when you can move forward to anatomy. And then as for shading, realistically, the way you practice that is to first understand what your light, the difference between your light and your shadows. Your light, your center light falls in there, your highlights, your half tones, that's the like the the anatomy of the light area. And then as for your shadows, that's where your core shadow comes in. That's where your reflected light comes in. Your shadow occlusion comes in. So realistically, it's understanding the parts of the light and the shading that you need to focus on before you move forward to actually shading. And then once you get that down, it's a matter of learning your edges, your soft edge shading as well as your hard edge shading, that really makes your lighting and your overall rendering all the more important, so or all the more effective. So yeah, practice the basics before moving on to um the a lot more detailed stuff, and the complex lighting. So yeah, focus on that for the time being. And yeah, that's it from me, Candice. I'm passing the
Yeah.
mic back to you.
All right. So that's pretty much all the time we have today for questions, you guys. But now that we've gone through some of your guys' questions, now I want to leave you guys with a question. Okay. So now that you've gone through this session, now that you've taken action, now that you've made your own Yonkoma, some for the first time, some of you not for the first time, but this was another opportunity for you guys to create with fellow artists, right? So my question for you guys at the end of the day is, where will you be tomorrow if you start today, right? So for those of you who are still unsure, I mean, you guys made it all the way to the end of this workshop, right? So now my question is, what are you going to do after this workshop? If you're serious about wanting to pursue manga as a potential career, and if you want to explore the possibility of it, then apply to the program. A program is an opportunity for you guys to, okay, create with fellow mangakas who are on the same journey, who have the same goals, and an opportunity to work with professionals who will guide you towards those goals, right? So now that you have this opportunity, what's holding you back? All right. So it's within your reach. You can just, it's literally a button click away. So for those of you guys who are still unsure in the face of this, then another question I would have for you is, if not now, then when? If you're someone who has been struggling for years, like you've like we've talked about at the very beginning of the session. I asked you guys like if you guys have been struggling. Some of you said, some of you shared that you've been struggling for a while now. If you are, then what are you going to do about it? Right? When will you take that next step? Again, where will you be tomorrow if you start today? So I challenge you guys to take that leap. Um, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your journey. I mean, for those of you who decide to join us in our program, I hope to see you guys around. I'll look forward to it. And for those of you who even after the session you're still thinking about it, well, I just want you to think about how much progress you could make if you decide to take this opportunity to actually get guided mentorship, right? So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. It was a lovely session. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot from Coach Nico. And just so you guys know, we have an upcoming live interview with another one of our students next week. We have our student, um, okay, I won't say their name. I don't want to reveal it yet, because we haven't actually announced it yet. So this is like a quick spoiler for everyone. In the session today, we're gonna be having another live interview with another one of our students. Really exciting stuff. This student has made so much progress. I personally love their art style, and I feel like a lot of you guys will love her art style too. So yeah, please watch out for that, and for more upcoming events, if you want to stay tuned about our upcoming events or more workshops like this, because we will be having more free workshops like this. If you want to join more of those, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you can stay updated on our latest announcements, you guys. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us for today's session. How I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see you at our next live stream, you guys.